Koma and konnichiwa, plus yabaseo. Who put that on the set? Will here of the POLIT'AI CHI. Doing a brief intro to video highlights coming up. With regard to Facebook and Apple, vis-a-vis the title that I included on this, they have to go away as is. Now look, you know, I bought a bunch of Apple when it was $6 a share back in 2002. This little thing called an iPod on top of a bunch of other stuff they had going on was coming out. People were like, MP3, they thought that file had something to do with other things that, you know, I would not partake in. But here's the deal. These iPhones have become their platform product. And they're conducive to social networking, ideally. They changed the whole face of how mobile phones used to be. I had a mobile phone with a QWERTY keyboard, you know, you may not be interested, but it had Microsoft Mobile as the OS on it. You could actually write a spreadsheet or word letter or read one on that phone. What can you do on these dumb smartphones now, other than social networking stuff? So all you people are Facebooker, and I'm not one of them. Yeah, I do Twitter, yeah, I do YouTube, obviously. But are you going to trust a kid who lucked out starting something ostensibly to replace AOL Hometown, which is the precursor to Match and all those other singles, or rather dating sites, including the very disturbing Ashley Madison? You know, life is too short, go cheat. It should be their cell mark. With your data, this guy had no prior business experience, didn't even finish college. He's supposed to be able to vet good people to work for him who understand this better than him. Look, here's the deal. From Gen Xer, who knows this stuff, who was part of the internet generation when we were in college and actually finished, got our multiple degrees, and accomplished some good stuff. If you haven't worked with people long enough, you can't really read their intentions. You can't really tell based on getting to know them and asking them just some key questions. Could be even in a spreadsheet grading system. I've been in one of those as well. To get good people. And so y'all can live without Facebook and Twitter vis-a-vis your smartphone. Alright, that's all I gotta say. Got a little montage coming up here. Thanks for watching. Roll clips.
I gotta get to Facebook rapidly. Mark Zuckerberg has told top executives the company's at war. And reportedly, he blamed his number two, Sheryl Sandberg, for the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Jim Anderson is with us, Social Flow CEO. Look, let's get right down to it. Look, the stock's at 134, plunging. Do you think that somebody at the very, very top, Zuckerberg, Sandberg, or whomsoever, has to go?
Only when Mark Zuckerberg thinks somebody needs to go. Here's what I think the interesting question is. Let's say Mark Zuckerberg steps down, says, look, for the good of the company, the good of the country, the good of the world, I'm going to step down.
Nice man,
the clock will start ticking at that moment on when he comes back, right? America especially loves the second hand. Think about it. Your successor to Mark Zuckerberg, you're a perfectly capable executive. You come in and all of a sudden your numbers are not going to grow as much as they have been because that's inevitable. We've talked about that before. And people will start clamoring. We need the magic back. We need the founder of magic. It's Steve Jobs 2.0 would be what we would have again.
Do you think it's likely that one of the top two will step away, even if it's just briefly or for whatever? You think it's likely?
I don't think we're there yet. I think they have clearly, you quoted them, they're ready to weather the storm. They are convinced that they didn't do what the world thinks they did. They think they've got the right answers, and they're going to try to power through. Whether that works for the next 6 months, year, you know, we'll have to see there.
To me, it's not so much a question about regulations and data breaches and political bias. There's this study from the University of Pennsylvania. It shows an actual link between use of social media and depression. Again, this has got nothing to do with regulation's not going to fix this.
Right.
But you've got a link, a firm causal link here. I think that's leading people to walk away from Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, let me give you an example here. I think Facebook has a problem with depression like McDonald's has a problem with obesity, right? So think about it. Fast food, quick serve restaurants, you know, super size me, right? I mean, they got justifiably, I think, pilloried for that. Facebook is going to have to confront the same types of things. Social media can be a perfectly fine thing in moderation, but what we're seeing is people using it too much, people, ending up with depression and sort of negative.
You see, if you're a youngster, 20 or 30 something, you're reading your Facebook and you're getting all these messages from friends and family, and they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
They're
FOMO. Are you familiar with the fear of missing out? FOMO. That's the phrase. Oh my goodness, everybody else is having a great time and I'm sitting home alone. It very much can sort of lead to those types of anxieties being amplified.
And that will self-regulate because people will walk away from it. If they're getting anxiety and depression because of it, they'll walk away. That's self-regulation.
Or they'll wallow in it. That I think is the bigger concern, is right. You're sitting home on a Friday night and you're just sitting there scrolling through the feed. You're not walking away. I think that's what we would like for people to do, is walk away. If you're not feeling good about it, if you're not feeling good about your life, get off of your phone and go out and do something to feel better. But the concern is that people may not do that. And I think that's probably the bigger concern.
I'm not on Facebook and I'm happy as a clown.
So am I.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, he's clearly a genius at engineering and marketing the company and the social technology that he practically invented. But as the company faces slowing demand and a potentially crippling set of privacy regulations, Zuckerberg reportedly was off message at an employee meeting on Friday, blasting critical news coverage of Facebook as, quote, BS. He actually used the whole word. So is it time for the company to bring in a more seasoned manager to run the social media giant, much like Google did with Eric Schmidt? Let's ask New York Post Sunday business columnist Jonathan Trugman. Jonathan, good to see you. Wouldn't it be a little risky, though, to demote the founder? I think of when Apple sent Steve Jobs packing. They learned to regret that and brought him back.
Yeah, I think that Steve Jobs was a different animal than Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, Steve Jobs was never arrogant to the degree about his client experience. Zuckerberg's completely arrogant about the client experience and what's going on. His biggest issue is he's not concerned about his users. His users can walk away, they don't pay anything. He takes their data, he sells it. Without much knowledge, you sign something, but you don't really know what exactly they're doing with it. And Sheryl Sandberg's kind of just there. She knows Washington well. Seems like a nice enough person, but this is a big company now. Yeah. I mean, this isn't a Eric Schmidt, it's not a Steve Ballmer, it's not a Mark Cuban, kind of a wrap their arms around it, strangle the problem by the neck, own the problem, denying it.
Know everything going on in each division, can't have the wall over their eyes.